Welcome to the Chic Show. Today is part of Tricksters or Treats, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. The pattern for this DIY I got on Pinterest. I'm starting with one of these wood rounds from Dollar Tree, and I gave it the back side of it 3 coats of white chalk paint. I printed out my graphic to size and cut it out. It's best to do this on a LaserJet printer on the thinnest, cheapest paper you can find. Once the chalk paint had completely dried, I gave it a coat of Mod Podge matte. I then placed the graphic face down, smoothed it out, and let it dry overnight. The next day, I wet the graphic with a wet paper towel just enough so that you can see the ink coming back through the back side. And then I used my fingers and I rubbed away the paper. Now you want to keep your fingers damp for this, but you don't want to rub too hard. Once you've completely rubbed away all the paper, this is what you're left with. It gives it kind of a rustic look. It's not perfect, and that's what I like about it. I did give it another coat of matte Mod Podge on the top. We're going to use this same transfer method for this project. I printed out this eye on some thin paper on my LaserJet printer. And I'm also using one of these white orbs from Dollar Tree. I cut out the graphic and I'm going around and just snipping around it because it is going onto a round surface. So I'm snipping the edges of it so it will fit a little better. This time I'm using Mod Podge again, but I am putting it on the graphic, directly on the graphic, and then placing the graphic onto the orb where I want it, and I'm going to let it sit and dry overnight. The next day, again, I'm wetting that graphic and then I'm wetting my fingers and rubbing away that paper. This is one of my favorite Halloween decorations. I saw these light up globes at my local Albertsons and they were $10.99, and I thought I can make that myself much cheaper. So I went to a thrift store and I found this round white globe and I cut out some Halloween designs on my silhouette cameo. Now I'm just placing those down onto this globe. Once I'm happy with the design, I just used a battery-operated candle and I put it inside. And here's a look at it without the candle and then with the candle at night. I lost the footage of this part, but I did use 3 large wood Easter eggs and 3 small ones from Dollar Tree. I painted 2 of the larger ones black and 1 white, and then 2 of the smaller ones white and 1 black. And I glued them as shown here to make 2 pumpkins. I then added one of these bows that I got on clearance at Walmart after Christmas, as well as a small twine bow that I made. Next, I added one of these rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree, and I used the Trick or Treat, and I just added that to the large white egg. And here's a look at the final project. For this project, you will simply need a tin can. So I used a can opener to open up both the top and the bottom, and then I smashed it in half and squeezed together the bottom. I did end up using my hammer as well. Once I had that shaped as I wanted it, I gave it a coat of Waverly chalk paint in white. I used a hammer and some larger nails to make holes in the side of this tin can, and then I used one of these chains from the garden section at Dollar Tree. Now I'm making a jack-o'-lantern face with a permanent marker on the front. I did kind of sketch it out with pencil first, and then I used my permanent marker to fill in all the spaces. I added a Walmart clearance bow and some sweet flowers, and this project is complete. As I mentioned earlier, today's video is part of a playlist hosted by Shabby Meets Bling, Tracy Vanover, Design Mischief and Mayhem, and also The Secret Craft Room. Be sure and check out their channels in the description box below, along with the fabulous playlist. Watch this video here for more inspiration. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.